And the crews lining up in this race. It's the Olympic champions with a new lineup: Australia in lane 1, in lane 2, Romania, lane 3, Netherlands, lane 4, Great Britain, lane 5, USA, and lane 6, the People's Republic of China.
Should be a great race between Netherlands and Great Britain, but Australia, Romania, USA 2. I guess the Chinese want to get in on the party. There are the Australians: Georgie Patton, Katrina Werry in the 2-seat, Sarah Hoare, Lucy Stephan, the Olympic champion, in the stroke seat, coached by Tom Westgarth. Well, the phenomenal Romanians doubling up in so many events here. Madalena Berej, Maria Tivaradu, Magdalena Rusu and Amalia Berej in the stroke seats. Romanian team on fire here today, as have this crew from the Netherlands. Merlish Oldenburg recovering from that horrific cycling accident after last year's World Championships. Hermione Drent, Tinka Offerings. The two tall women come in from the Talent ID scheme. Bente Boonstra from Scholl in the stroke seat. There are the British reigning world champions. Rebecca Shorten won that gold medal. Helen Glover, the double Olympic champion in the pairs, come into the boat. Rowan McKellar in the 2-seat. Heidi Long up in the bows. This USA crew impressed so much in Varese winning. Molly Brugman, Kelsey Relick in the 2-seat, Maddie Wanamaker, Claire Collins in the stroke seat, the 26-year-old from Virginia. And finally, we have the Chinese. Closest to us, Zhu Jingji, Wang Zhifen, Lu Xiaoxin, and up in the bows, Zhong Shuqian, the Chinese. Two of the women that raced in Tokyo. Wang Zhifen in the 3-seat, got a bronze in the women's 8s. They're experienced crew, as are all these women in this A final of the women's 4s.
Well, you said it, Martin, you think it's going to be a race between this crew from the Netherlands and from Great Britain in the centre of the course. They were both very good winners in their semi-finals, weren't they? The British blasted out, put a big margin into the rest of the field. Netherlands won theirs by a long way, but I'm sure these other crews will have plenty to say about it. It hasn't been predictable today, has it?
No, I've been waiting for this match-up because you might recall from the semi-finals, the Dutch went 14 seconds quicker than the British in theirs. Of course, the conditions were very up and down, so hard to tell what that would mean, but we will soon find out.
We will soon find out as the crews get away. It's the Netherlands in lane 3, Great Britain in lane 4, Romania were in lane 2. They pressed this Netherlands crew hard in that semi-final, kept them racing the whole way. As we see a very even start across the field. Rebecca Shorten in that stroke seat, pretty impassive behind those sunglasses, and they're getting away to a decent start. All looks pretty close to me.
Well, the Brits were the Henley champions. They've been the crew to beat this season. Australia right up there with them over in lane 1, being stroked by Lucy Stephan, the Olympic champion from Nil in regional Victoria. I think the first Olympian and Olympic gold medalist from Nil in regional Victoria.
Great start from the Australians. The Romanians too are in there as we ride with the Chinese. Xu Jingji in the stroke seat of the Chinese, but Britain, they had that fast start in the semi-final that was phenomenal. The Netherlands had a quicker time. We couldn't tell from the splits what was going on, but this British boat, who lost their mojo through the season, seem to have found it so far in the early stages of this A final.
Well, from what we've seen, the British look like they had rediscovered their form from last year. Let's see what's going to happen here. In that semi-final, they went, and then they went again. So about this stage of the race, they continued to move on the rest of the field. Got this Dutch crew beside them. They looked long, they looked loose, they looked low in the bodies, as we see with these Netherlands crews, and they're tracking the British. The British certainly aren't getting away.
And we've spoken about the form of the Dutch team. There was a huge upset just earlier in the women's pair with that Dutch combination looking spectacular, taking the Australians. Does this Dutch combination have an answer here in the second 500? But look at the British, they've been brave early, Martin.
They have been brave early, and it's been a fantastic turnaround. I think, you know, getting Helen Glover in the 3-seat synced in with that boat, it wasn't working earlier in the season. They didn't have the results they wanted, but I must say, in the summer training camp, fantastic job by their coach, James Harris, to come in and sink in this boat. Heidi Long, Rowan McKellar up in the bows, Helen Glover in the 3-seat, the key woman providing the anchoring and the movement, and Rebecca Shorten, that impassive face in the stroke seat.
But look at this Netherlands boat, and for me, there's a lightness of touch about them. They make it look a little bit easier, a little bit quiet around the finish. When you look at the British, it's quite a contrast as to how the British really lever the boat along. The Netherlands tend to tap the boat along more.
Yeah, Frick Robbers, their stroke really has worked well. The young Dutch coach who teams up with Michelle Darville to work with the Dutch women. There are the Romanians, I think, in third place. The British have got that lead, but the Netherlands, well, have stopped the rot at the moment, and now we have a race on our hands.
The Romanians sitting in the bronze medal position at the moment. USA and Australia out of it, but we're still not at the halfway mark. A lot of track to play out still, as we see the green and gold blades of Australia there to the right-hand side of your screen. And look how close it is in this race.
Well, we're going to come up here and we'll get a look across the 1,000-metre mark. We'll see that the British got out to about half a length at 500 gone. It looks pretty much like the Netherlands have checked that move, and the Netherlands are holding Great Britain, not letting them get away, and if anything, starting to eat into that early lead.
I'd say the Netherlands might be favourites from this position. I like the way they're rowing. Heidi Long in the British boat there, the world champion oarswoman, really just sticking in the 26-year-old from Leander Club. There's Helen Glover, Rebecca Shorten, still calm and impassive.
Well, we're seeing that lean back from the British crew, aren't we? They really sort of lean into the wind. They really use their bodies, as opposed to the Netherlands, who just kind of keep flicking and moving easily along. I wonder what the difference is going to be as the race plays out.
Yeah, we see the Romanians here in third place, still ahead of the USA, but the Dutch, with every stroke, are closing in on that lead that the British were able to take in the second 500. I think that the Dutch are going to walk through here and put themselves into the gold medal position, Martin.
Well, I was talking to Rohir Blink, who's the partner of Marlish Oldenburg, the bowwoman. He said the Dutch women's four came onto the course the first day, did 36k. Would you believe it? Just paddling in that long, low-intensity stuff. They've toned it down since, but, you know, the peak is for the final, and their bows hit the front now. The British won't have an answer to that.
Well, look how solid they are, the Netherlands, through that draw phase. Their blades get in the water, and they really work it in that first third, the middle third, and it's just so easy around the finish, and yet they're just moving past the British. As you can see the lead just getting bigger and bigger. So we take a look at this experienced crew from America.
Rebecca Shorten now under pressure. The Americans still in the race in fourth place on the far side. Romania, Beres, Tivaradu, Rusu and Beres in third place. As we come up to the final quarter, Netherlands will hit the final quarter in the front.
Well, you can see the determination etched on Helen Glover's face as she sits behind Rebecca Shorten. They've been rowed through by this crew from the Netherlands. Great Britain are going to have to do something very special if the Netherlands aren't going to do what you said, Sarah, and move the same as their women's pair did and ease their way through this last 500.
The Dutch now about half a length up on the British, but look at Romania. Here come Romania. They're going to start to challenge the British now for that silver medal position. Do the Romanians have a sprint to get themselves up towards the gold medal fight?
Well, it's a big move, isn't it, from the Romanians? I think they're into that silver medal position now. They've moved through the British. The Australian bow ball is in the corner of the picture, but it's Romania here who are on the charge. It's the Netherlands who are just easing their way ahead. Look at the rate from the Romanians.
So will the Romanians catch the crew from the Netherlands? We thought the Netherlands might win, but this is a sensational sprint. The Romanian Amalia Beres winds it up. Amazing from
Well,
them.
Romania are at 45 strokes a minute. They're closing down this gap on the Netherlands. The Netherlands look so relaxed and calm, but the Romanians are charging at them.
The Romanians 46 strokes per minute. The Dutch, they look practically pedestrian down at 41 next to that Romanian crew, absolutely winding into the line.
So here we go, coming into the closing stages. The Netherlands trying to stay loose, trying to stay connected, but Romania attacking and attacking as Britain hang on for the bronze.
It's not done yet. There's the Romanians. They're not quite there. It is the Netherlands who I think will take the gold medal. Britain will take the bronze medal. Romania the silver. That's as it stands as the crew pass in front of me. What a sensational row from the Netherlands. Oldenburg, Drenthoff, Rins and Bustra take the gold medal. Romania the charge through the British for the silver medal. Long, McKellar, Glover and Shorten take bronze. I think Australia got fourth on the far side. USA and China in the minor placings.
Well, it was the USA who got through for fourth. Actually, Australia were fifth on that far side, but that was all about the Netherlands, all about what Sarah Cook thought might happen. They were faster in the semi-final. The British heads are down. It's a tough race for them. They worked it so hard to get that boat out into the lead, but once the Netherlands came past them, they really didn't have any answer.
I know, seems like they did part of the job in the first 1,000 metres, but, you know, you're talking about that flicky style. It's just the looseness. I think, you know, Freck Robbers, great stroke man himself, the Dutch coach of this crew from the Netherlands, really does know how to make a crew move quickly.
What a day for Dutch women's rowing. They've taken the gold medal in the women's pair and the women's four. We've been talking about both those two teams, actually, the Dutch and the Romanians, all week.
I just think it's wonderful how relaxed and loose they can look and yet still be applying so much force and getting so much boat speed. I mean, when you see the Romanians going fast, you know why, because they're throwing absolutely everything at it. When you see the Dutch moving, you just think, wow, that's fantastic what they're doing. Great, great rowing. So we see a win for the Netherlands ahead of Romania. Great Britain will get the bronze. And then it was the United States, China in 6th and Australia in 5th.
The Netherlands represented by
Holandiu su predstavljali
Marloes Oldenburg.